I'm struggling to get out of bed in the morning. My mood is constantly low. Getting up and existing has been tough.
Then bring yourself out of it. That might sound really bad. You can come out of anything when you're ready to.
Mental illness has not ever been seen as important as physical.
All this overthinking, stress,
anxiety,
all this anxiety,
depression.
I don't even know who came up with all those English, to be honest.
And then how would you be able to interact with someone who experiences that?
If they have experience in that, the Lord is with you.
Mental health is such a big thing. And the thing is, I like that it's a big thing because people are suffering. People are dying because of their minds.
My mouth carries power. My tongue needs to be seasoned. Whatever you entertain too much, you attract it.
I don't really mess about with the word depression. However, because I had knowledge of depression, I had knowledge of ways I could move to get myself out of that space.
My belief is what kept me.
Yeah, that's me.
This point.
That's me. You
My
don't have to
belief.
like it. Sorry. You know I'm fighting.
Someone is red.
Oh, sorry. Would you say you're an overthinker?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're an overthinker.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't even have a bit of overthinking.
Yeah.
I don't even have thinking alone. I'm not there. Not to have talk
No,
of
you're not, and that
overthinking.
pisses me off. That really jars me.
Overthinking is one.
Sarah
Thinking
will
is
get over
another.
something like that.
Thinking is another one. Overthinking is another one. I'm not even close to thinking. I'm not talking of overthinking. Nah, that's not for me. You don't want to be carrying heavy load around, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you.
Do you know how many load people carry by overthinking?
Yeah.
Overthinkers, they have to go through a lot.
It's
a lot
torture.
of, exactly.
Yeah,
That's the word. Torture.
it's not good.
Self-torture.
It is. It
Not
is.
even something that they put them into.
It is. It is
It's
self-torture.
self-torture.
It's not fun.
Because like you overthink every single thing.
Everything.
And someone told me before that it's not because they choose to be an overthinker that they just find themselves to be overthinking. In my head, I'm thinking, then bring yourself out of it. Like, I don't know. That might sound really bad. Bring yourself out of what you feel like you're in. Like, just, yes, I'm saying it out of ignorance of the kind of person
Their
I am.
situation. Yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like you can come out of anything when you're ready to. It's just the determination to get out of it. Like,
I think that is part of it. I do think that is some of it.
because for me,
I mean, it's the motivation that starts to work. I do think we're all different in it. And as you
Yeah.
said, like, obviously you look at it from a bias of you're just not that kind of person.
Yeah,
And there
yeah.
are, because I probably would think more about something more than you would.
Yeah.
Just because we're different, right? But at the end of the day, at the core, overthinking is not a good attitude. Attitude is the wrong word. It's not a good trait to have. And I think what sometimes people do is, and what I've done a lot with certain bad traits of my own is you embrace it in the sense of like, you make it a part of your identity. So you're not able to necessarily like, okay, I need to call this thing for actually what it is. And what it is that not to shame yourself, but it's very important as humans that we dissociate behavior from who we are sometimes. In the sense of that behavior is bad. It doesn't mean like you are bad. And the reason why I say it like that is because when you say you are bad with that behavior, it brings forth guilt and shame. However, when you say, no, it's not that I am bad, it is that me possessing this behavior is bad.
Yeah.
Because the behavior is bad. It is when you're able to call something for what it is, I think that's when you're able
to
say, for example, you are an overthinker, you're able to start the work to stop being an overthinker. Whether it's journaling, whether it's being more open with your communication with people, whether it's being more brave and embracing conflict. Do you understand what I mean?
I mean, for me, like, because I asked somebody a question: how do they feel when they overthink? And I love the fact that they said that at the end of the day, they always have headache.
I mean, yeah. It's
Like,
just, it's not
And I
worth
thought
it.
about it. Like, look, if you have headache,
It's not worth it.
if you have headache, You overthink about something at work, you have a headache.
Mm.
You didn't enjoy the work. You have proper headache. Then you not get home, your family throws something, you overthink it. You have another headache.
Another headache.
But do you know how you're killing yourself?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
killing
yeah.
yourself
Slow,
because
fam.
it's a slow.
You're
it's a
sucking
slow
the
death.
life out of
because
you.
you don't want to live a whole day
Yeah.
having headache.
It's very much aggressive. I don't want it to say I don't want this behavior.
And
I'm done with it.
imagine living a life whereby you'll be having headache every day, all because of you are
You
overthinking
think
something.
too much about something.
Come on, I love my life. Oh.
You love your peace. You
Like
do.
I love my life enough that look, whatever will make me think and get headache,
I don't want it.
bye bye.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
But like
You're good at that.
because I want to be able to live with a clear head, knowing that okay, yes, God is handling my day. That's why
It's so
everything
important.
I lay it
So
at His altar.
important.
It even says this in as well that we handle what you can handle and leave the rest for Him.
Sometimes it's trust issues, but I think also people sometimes overthink because they're people pleasers. I also think people overthink because I think sometimes mental health has like genuine physiological mental health has something to do with it as well. So it's different for everyone, but overall, it's not a good pattern.
By the way, I'm speaking from a construction,
What
from an engineer aspect.
what does that have to do with it?
Because I mean, you work at the hospital, so you know all this hospital.
Oh, jargon.
Yeah, so because for me personally, I don't know too much about all this whole overthinking, about all this medical aspect of it that applies to it. So I have no knowledge in terms of all this like overthinking, stress, because I don't stress myself.
Anxiety,
All this anxiety,
depression.
I don't even know who came up with all those English, to be honest. I swear to God. But all I know is that it's not in my dictionary.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, add it to your dictionary though, just so you have to. Well, you have
can't.
to because not for yourself, but for like people who experience depression.
But that is the thing. If I open my door to write those, like if I write it in my book, what guarantee that I will not walk in it?
Fair. But then how would
It's
you
what
be
you
able to interact with someone who experiences that?
Like, okay, if they have experience in that, the Lord is with you.
Not you saying I'm signed out. That's one thing about Sev. If Sev doesn't know about it, well, you need to go to someone who does.
Like, I'm not a bad person.
Yeah, but you know,
like,
a lot of guys actually have. I don't know. Do you know what? I think there is a good number of people in our community. I'm gonna say our community. I'll say the
Like,
African community.
honestly, I don't
who
even-
don't really believe in mental health like that. I think there are lots of people who. Do you know what? I think like in the day and age we live now, people are afraid to express their ignorance. Do you understand what I mean? Because they're like, if I express that I don't understand mental health and I don't understand people who suffer with depression, like just come out of it. What the fudge? They feel like they will get attacked. Do you understand what I mean? And that's never the answer. Attack is never the answer. The answer is always, let's be honest and let's open up ourselves to learning. Let's open up ourselves to research.
I don't even know what it means.
Yeah,
that's even
yeah.
That's a genuine truth. I don't know what anxiety is. All those diseases that we do, I don't know what it means.
Right, but language is so important though. It helps us.
I feel like it's not even about the language. I do hear it around, but I just don't.
You don't understand it.
I don't want to make it something that I want
That's
to know
normal.
about.
Oh,
I don't want to
really?
normalize it enough for me to even want to know about it with them.
Ooh.
I don't know if that is a bad thing. I just don't want to entertain things I don't want.
Why is that though?
I just feel like for me as an individual, my door, I close my door away from, I wouldn't say unnecessary stuff or things I don't want with in my vicinity.
Yeah.
I just don't want to, open my door anyhow, and not even welcome, but entertain things like that. There's so much. It might be a bad thing, but at the same time, and it might even sound ignorant or whatever. But I just don't feel like, for me, all this even tuberculosis. I don't even know what tuberculosis is. I'm telling you that.
Man went from mental health to
All this disease, I'm telling you, I
physiological,
literally have
pathological
no clue
condition.
about all what those things are. And it's not even because I'm somebody that is illiterate.
tuberculosis. Don't kill me.
I'm not even, it's not coming from me being an illiterate or whatever.
Yeah.
It's coming from the fact that I just don't entertain all these things.
Really?
Because I don't see it coming to my domain.
Is that, do you reckon that's like, would you consider that behavior as negligent, as in like you're just neglecting it, you're overlooking it? Or would you consider that like you saying, if I don't open my door to this thing, it means I will never experience such a thing?
Okay, we can, in a way, I wouldn't say neglecting, but how I would put it is for me, I just feel like the way I am, how do they call this thing? English. Whatever you open your doors onto too much, you'll be surprised to see it reflecting as much around your vicinity. And limiting my this thing, I know they will never come to what you don't know will not come your door. It might be a bad concept of life, but whatever I don't know, whatever I'm ignorant, like I don't educate myself or I'm ignorant of, it wouldn't come towards my domain. It's what you know that will come. And for me personally, I did rather not know too much about those kind of stuff and just focus on my God and on knowing that He's handling everything about my life.
Right.
Not letting all those things be an issue for me.
Yeah.
Even for me personally, when I'm even sick, ask my mom, I don't even use medicine. And it's not because I think medicine is not good. That is not even the concept of why I just feel like my healing comes from Him.
Yeah.
And I've always had that and I've always worked in that. So like, it's not even, and if my lady is to use medicine, I'm not saying that I will not say that she shouldn't use it. I'm not enforcing who I am on anybody.
On anyone else.
I just know the way I work with my God. Exactly.
Okay.
I just know the way I work with my God, and I just feel like for me personally, I don't want to embrace all these things I'm hearing, because it's somebody that came up with all these things, somebody that came up with the name of all these things.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy into those names.
Yeah,
I don't want to buy into those concepts of life. I just know that in me, I am here to fulfill a purpose, not to learn what is within this world or whatever. I just want to enjoy life. I don't want a life with anxiety, a life with came up with all those depression. Who came up with all those names?
Wait,
it's people. I don't. It's bad, right? I know I'm sounding bad already, but it's somebody that came up with all those names.
Right.
Why dwell in it?
Yeah. God, I love this space. This is good.
You will see people of age of 16 saying that I'm depressed.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let's slow down.
It's bad, though. It's bad.
Wait, no. Wait, it's not bad. I respect what you're saying. And the reason why I respect it, and I still have something to say to what Seva's saying, because I'm not in 100% agreement, but I respect what you're saying, because some people will actually just be like, what the fudge is this guy saying? Like, it just sounds ignorant. No. The reason why I respect what you're saying is because there's a passage in the Bible that I hold really true to my Christian values and beliefs, where Paul's basically talking about like, whatsoever person has faith to believe in, let them believe that. And the context he was using it in is that there's some people in the Christian faith who think they can't eat certain foods, whereas there are certain people in the Christian faith who think they can eat whatever they want, right? And what he was saying is, just leave them to it. Like, if that's where their faith carries them, and they know in their heart that this is not sin unto God, leave them to it. It's between them and God if it is sin unto God. In the sense of if they feel like God is telling them not to eat certain foods, leave them to it. However, if God wasn't telling them that, that's between them and God, leave them to it. But whereas there's some people who believe like, no, I don't think it's sin unto me if I eat whatever I want. I think it's fair for you to say, I just don't want that kind of language around my life because I feel like it opens the door for that kind of language. It's the same as someone who will turn around and say, I'm open to this language, but I know and I'm confident that it will never have a space in my home. Do you understand what I mean? Whichever bucket you want to find yourself, cool, whatever, do what you want to do. Like, we can never control what humans believe or whatever they do.
Yeah.
And the fact that anyone will ever, I mean, to be fair, I don't want to sit here and say you will ever get mad at someone's opinion. No, I think that's an ignorant thing to say because the amount of times I get mad at people's opinions and I want to slap them in their face. What I want to say to what you're saying is, no, actually, what my question to you is, how do you now deal, because it's language. And the reason why you are saying, like, where did these words even come from? And the reason why there is language to these things is so people have a direction and a way of how to handle them. I know it's all human made, and this is why I'm a big believer in research, because I don't think things should ever stay the same. Things should continue to evolve. Things should continue to change. We should always continue to collect data and optimize the way we do things as human beings. Whereas, unfortunately, things sometimes just stay stuck in their ways. My thing is, I feel like in a world where language is becoming very important, it's very important for people to have a word or a group of words to say to define a world of things that they are feeling, in the sense of, I'm struggling to get out of bed in the morning. My room is incredibly messy.
Laughing gas.
Huh?
Laughing gas. I heard about that one.
My room is incredibly messy and I don't have the motivation to clean it up. I don't have the motivation to go to school. I don't have the motivation to study. My mood is constantly low. I mean...
Mood swing.
Shut up. Can we... My mood is constantly low. I'm describing some of the symptoms of depression, right? I think for people who experience something like that, I think for them, for some people, it makes sense for them to put it under a name. I think for them, when they put it under a name and they know what it is, they're able to attack it and deal with it for what it is, if that makes sense. So my question to you is, in a world where we're going to have kids, right? And they are going to come into the world where there is now language to define certain things.
Yeah.
And they come to you, like, I know there will be a certain way that you raise them. Or I think we can both testify that there are certain ways that our parents have raised us.
Yeah.
And we've turned out completely different.
Absolutely.
Right. They can turn around and come to you and say, Dad, I think I'm depressed. How do you deal with that, especially where you've not interacted with the language of depression for so long?
I mean, for me personally, like, I said it even before, that I'm not somebody that put my own belief on anybody else. But for me, as in to handle stuff like that, I need to first understand where the person is, like, if it's my own son and daughter, which is something I cannot even dismiss. I can be really dismissive, but at the same time, when it comes to family, obviously I can't be dismissive about it. I know Naomi has come to me and said that, oh yeah, she's depressed. I didn't even know how to handle it, honestly. That's me being honest. I just was, how can you be depressed? That's the first thing.
Did you say that?
Yeah, how can you be depressed? But that is a bad thing. But then at the end of the day, that does not mean that I didn't do what I can do to help. Because for me, you need to understand, like you said, because you're asleep, you're in bed and you can't wake up, that is categorized as depression. But whereas, why don't you call it that, oh, you're being lazy, you don't want to...
I mean, it's a range of symptoms. It's not just that one.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it's a range of stuff, right? For example, you want to wake up from bed and you
Less
just feel,
motivation.
yes,
Low mood,
okay.
constantly low mood.
But why don't they say, okay, I'm not motivated to come of bed? Why don't they call it like that? Why depression? Why incorporate it under depression? But whereas all this thing, the word depression itself is depressing. It doesn't sound. How will I put it? It's
So is this how? Because I'm going to
Call
answer
it-
my
call
question.
it-
Is this how you would? Is this what you would say to your child? So your child have just
I
come to you
mean,
and say, Dad,
if they come to me with that, I would just tell them. I mean, I'm not yet there, so I wouldn't never know how to handle it. But at the same time, if it actually did happen, I mean, I know that as much as I can say this, for me, I would just tell them, okay, I mean, tell me more. I want to learn more. Maybe that might even push me to even want to understand.
do some more research.
Tell me at which what point, what angle are you coming from?
Right.
Because definitely I know I have no clue about what it is. Okay, educate me more. Tell me, okay, what is making you depressed? Because I personally don't understand what depression is, but if you are depressed, teach me what it is. What is making you or putting you in that position? Then I believe for family I will do that.
For family, just for family.
I'm telling you. But for anybody else, I mean,
You don't have the time of day.
I'll just direct you to God. It's true.
I mean, that's a good answer.
I cannot
I know
solve.
there are a lot of people who do.
I
The
cannot.
thing is, it's weird because I wouldn't say I'm playing devil's advocate because I personally don't believe in using the word depression as well. I don't like using that
'Cause,
word.
I mean-
I can appreciate when people do use that word, and I will never say you shouldn't be using that word. And I understand what people mean when they use that word. I know what depression is. And I do believe it's actually a physiological thing that does happen. I actually believe that. But as much as I believe that, I also believe in an all-knowing God who can really just turn anything around. But not everyone's going to hear that, obviously, right? And that's why I wouldn't necessarily say that to someone's face, per se. And this is why, first of all, before I continue, I just want to say, this is a space where me and Sev, we will come with our authentic intelligence, ignorance, mistakes, and hearts. So there are some stuff that we will say that you will not understand, you will not like, you will hate. However, this is a space where we will continue to educate ourselves. We're open to learning, and we're just, as I said earlier, we're open to evolving. So I don't do cancel culture. I don't do cancel culture. I'm not about that. You need to let human beings process. If you need to let human beings evolve, you need to let human beings, like, there are so many things that, not that I'm happy in my messy, but like, I'm not ashamed of my messy. Do you get what I mean? I'm not ashamed of my messy. I'm really not. And that's what we're gonna give you here. If it's messy to you, great. And if you're not the type of person who can digest messy, get lost. Okay, maybe don't get lost. No, okay, stay. Sorry, we love you, I guess. Sorry. You've got a message for the people then. What should they do?
Subscribe.
And share, baby.
Comment.
That's right, baby.
Hit the subscribe
That's right, baby.
Hit the comment. Subscribe.
No, the comments are the most important things. We want to hear your voices. I mean, actually, the sharing is the most important thing. Share.
Oh, yeah.
Share. Definitely share. Hit that like button. Give us 5 stars on every platform, every podcast platform. But I really think we should let these guys get into the episode.
Oh, yes.
Before we start talking
Absolutely.
way too much.
I do agree on that one.
Enjoy the episode, guys.
People are not in a position whereby they're feeding their soul right. And for me personally, I'm concerned about the peace of my mind. Like, I'm concerned about whatever I feed my mind. I'm concerned about whatever I feed myself as an individual. So that is why a lot of all these things that we mentioned, I may not have knowledge of it, and truly, I actually don't. In terms of all this whole, the whole thing we're talking about depression, I literally, if you come to my house, the same thing you will see.
Yeah.
I actually have no knowledge about all this stuff, and it's not even because I don't want to. It's just for me, for my own peace of mind, I don't want to.
You don't open yourself
It's
to
not
it.
because, okay, Severin, how will I put it? Are you trying to be ignorant? No. My knowledge is from God. I'm telling you. Like what I know is what will edify me.
As in what you choose to know.
What I choose to know
Yeah.
is what will edify my soul and will bring glory to God within myself. Something outside of that, garbage.
I don't want it.
Garbage. Pure garbage.
I think that's interesting. I think I'm different in the sense of so for example, as I said before, I personally don't, and I know this is going to be so whack for a lot of people, especially when mental health is such a big thing. And the thing is, I like that it's a big thing because people are suffering. People are dying because of their minds. I think there is a lot of focus on people's physical condition. So the infections, the tuberculosis, as you said, the infections, the heart problems, the seizures, the epilepsy, the asthma, the COPD, like
COPD.
yeah,
Which one is that?
chronic. I forgot what the O is.
Forget it.
I forgot what the O. How can I forget what COPD is? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, I think.
Yeah, but
And people don't realize that because suicide is mental health. And it's annoying because, as I said, and this is something that I really want to establish in my life, that I'm still able to exist with certain conflicts. I'm okay with that. In the sense of I personally in my life don't, like what Seb said, I don't really mess about with the word depression. Even in times of my life where I've had low mood, where I've had low motivation, where it's been tough, like getting up and existing has been tough. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I know a lot of people would define this as depression, but I'm just not calling it that for me. However, because I had knowledge of depression, I had knowledge of ways I could move to get myself out of that space, if that makes sense. And that's why I wouldn't say I embrace terminology. I would say I'm aware of it, and it will govern how I handle mental health. I take mental health very seriously because I know people are dying because they are mentally sick. They are mentally ill. And I think even what could come from what you're saying, and I hear what you're saying, but I think it's important to acknowledge that a part of that is mental illness has not ever been seen as important as physical illness. People see physical illness because it's so in your face. Like, okay, go to the doctor, go and treat that. But like, when someone is mentally ill, to the point where they want to go and kill themselves, right?
those kind of illness are not visible.
Right. No one sees that. To the point where someone is in a room, they are physically in a room, there are other people around them.
Smiling.
They're smiling, but
They're dead.
they can't bring themselves, and I'm talking about anxiety now, they can't bring themselves to physically have proper human interaction because they are overthinking, overstimulated by what everyone else in the room is doing to them. Like, I remember there was a situation where, and this was a very low point in my life. There was a situation, we were in Jessica's house, I think. And we were just hanging out as GDG, which is our kind of like our little church circle. And I remember I was just having a conversation with Valerie. And in that moment, my heart started to race, like really fast. And I felt like everyone in the room was looking at me. And I could not get it out of my head. I was just like, everyone's looking at you. You're talking really loud. Like, everyone, not even really so much everyone can't stand you, but like, you're talking really loud. Everyone thinks you're this. Everyone thinks you're that. All these, like, I wouldn't even say voices, but beliefs just rushed in from nowhere. My heart started beating incredibly fast. And then I was like, and then I had to leave. I was like, I'm going home because I just can't do this. I cried myself all the way home and I wasn't crying because something bad happened to me. Someone did something bad to me. I was crying because I've never felt that before. I felt like I was going to die. I don't know what it was, but my heart could not slow down. My heart was, and I felt, because it became really physical. It went from there and became really physical. And I was like, damn. People who have anxiety have to suffer this on a daily basis. And even though I don't embrace like these words of anxiety and depression, I exist in a space where it's not even empathy. I believe in your situation. I know this is happening. However, I know for me, as a Christian, there are many solutions available. However, those solutions may not be available to you because we are not the same person. You might not be a Christian. Do you understand what I mean? So you might not be the type of person to think that, oh, this could actually be spiritual. I'm quite a spiritual person. I believe things are spiritual. I know mental health can come about as a spiritual thing. Do you understand what I mean? I know physical health can come about as a spiritual thing. But some people don't, they don't believe that. They don't believe in that kind of thing. So how do we help someone like that? And that's why I place myself in a position of, and maybe because I've experienced those things as well, but I place myself in a position of, I will continue to learn and understand this thing. And hopefully, by the grace of God, I don't find it in my house. I guess that's the kind of position I take. But I would definitely encourage myself and other people to constantly not be afraid to learn about things they may not know much of. But it's tricky for you because obviously you're very protective with the information you consume, which is incredibly understandable.
I understand the aspect at which you're coming. And for me, I mean, yes, a lot of all this stuff, I choose not to learn it. I choose not to want to know about it. Would I learn about it? Would I want to know much more about it? Maybe, because, I mean, since a child I don't pray for it to ever happen to anyone close to me.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Because for me personally, it hasn't happened
Life
to me.
will really life sometimes though. It's true, it's not happened to you. And that's why I'm like,
It hasn't happened to me,
I
that's
can't
why.
discount the way you see it, in the sense of the fact that you see it that way, maybe the reason why it's never happened to you.
Yeah, it never happened to
I mean,
me.
you've probably felt those things before. You've probably felt low mood before. You've probably felt...
Yeah, I felt. You know what's funny? I've felt. There are moments whereby me and Beatrice have even wanted to commit suicide when we're back home.
You have told me this actually, yeah.
So like, it's not that we haven't suffered or we haven't gone through stuff, but we never give them those names. We never identify them as, oh, this enough for us to make it our lifestyle. Whereby, okay, any small thing you're depressed, any small thing anxiety, any small thing this. It was more or less, okay, these people, they are treating us bad. They're seeing us as a slave. It was more like, okay, what can we do to be higher than what they see us as? So it was not about, okay, I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that. It was more about, okay, how can we grow? How can we become something out of what they're making us to be? So like, we always find, that is why me and Beatrice, we love music so much even until now. That was what we used at that moment to grow. And for me, it's not that we've never had a bad time, we've never had all this, but we never knew what all this thing meant. We never had a clue about what anxiety, depression, all this kind of stress. We never had all this thing defined for us. We're more or less just living life, understanding life, that life will get better. So I believe that is the aspect I'm coming from. And for me, do I like life like that? I actually do prefer life without me understanding what all this thing means, because understanding what it means will require me like for everything that is happening, I have to call it by that name. Saying that, oh, if I'm out of bed, if I want to get out of bed and feel tired or I'm depressed, I don't want to call it that, knowing that I could say that, oh, I'm tired. I do prefer saying that I'm tired, though. Okay, I'm feeling reluctant to get off the bed than me using the name depressed, because I feel like there's this stigma on top of depression that is being put, all this stress, all this, to the point whereby it has become a music in the mouth of people.
As in just willy-nilly.
Yeah, it has become
heard that.
music whereby any small thing I'm depressed, any
Yeah.
small thing I'm stressed.
sure.
So I don't want that kind of music.
Yeah. I might increase
don't-
my volume.
I don't want to dance to those kind of music.
Yeah.
I just want it to be called by, okay, you know what? I'm tired. I'm not feeling the way I would feel usually. I mean, because my mouth carries power. My mouth carries
It does, and that's the
authority.
thing, and that's why I don't use the words.
My mouth carries so much
Yeah.
power and authority,
Yeah.
whereby I have to caution. Even the Bible even make us understand, like, my tongue need to be seasoned.
As a man thinketh, so he is.
So I need to be careful of what I profound out of my mouth. That is why I don't. You know as well. I don't use F word. I don't know. I don't.
You
use
don't.
None of those words. So like I'm conscious of what comes out of me,
You are.
because I know that everything about me carries power.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just profound any kind of stuff whereby it would affect me later on in the nearest future, whereby I'm using these languages that is not, I mean, I wouldn't say not kingdom language, because clearly it's not a kingdom language, but at the same time, this is the language we meet here. So I'd rather just prefer saying that, okay, God will take the wheel. Everything will be like, it's better that way for me than me saying, "Oh, I'm stressed, bro.
Yeah.
I'm depressed." And we wonder why people constantly get depressed. We wonder why. Although this is coming from the aspect of how I've lived my life, it's not coming from the aspect of generalizing on how
Yeah.
people live their life. I mean, all
think-
this stress and this thing, people have witnessed it, they've gone through it. I've not gone through it like that enough to. I don't know what it is enough for me to know what it means.
We're gonna continue talking. We're gonna continue speaking. We're
And it's
open to
gonna be a
learning.
genuine talk.
We're open to learn. And I also want to say,
Realness.
just because we are expressing our perspective and our lived experience does not mean we are enforcing that lived experience on you. Absolutely not. That's not what this is.
I can never put my own belief
No.
on anybody.
No.
Because my belief is what kept me.
Yeah, that's
to
me.
this point.
That's me.
My
You don't have to
belief-
like it. Sorry. I don't know what I'm fighting.
For a second, I was thinking you're in a battleground.
You know me.
Like
Ready to
my
throw
belief,
hands.
my understanding about life is completely different from every
It's
single one.
mine.
Even although yes, people
Doesn't have to get you mad. Why are you mad for?
people gravitate towards
Fudge. I never
me.
asked you. Sorry, I'm.
With this behavior, with this belief of mine, people still gravitate around me. But at the
Right.
same time, I don't put my belief on anybody.
No.
Because my belief is what kept me to this moment.
Right.
But some of my belief, it doesn't mean that I can't change. Or I'm not looking
Facts.
forward to changes
Facts.
or developing myself. I'm even still within the journey of developing myself as an
Facts.
individual.
Facts.
But at the same time, expressing how I feel about stuff. Within that, you get to learn.
Yeah. You do.
Learn and learn and learn and learn and learn.
You do.
and grow.
You're not gonna. You're not going. You don't have to like everyone's way of living life. Like, and just because someone's living life, I get it. Fine. If their values don't align with yours, okay, make your space. But also, I feel people need to make more space to be around people who their way of life does conflict a little bit.
I mean,
It-
it's a challenge. That's the challenge.
Yeah, like
in life.
you grow together because there's something. I guarantee there is something you will learn from that person.
Yeah,
that you would
'cause-
never learn from the people you usually surround yourself with.
Exactly, because if you're within a circle that all of you don't fight, like they used to say, you guys are not friends.
Right.
True friends, they will have conflict.
Sorry.
They will have conflict because there will be days you don't understand each other.
Yeah.
There will be days if you don't agree.
Yeah.
And at that moment, that is where you enlighten each other. That is where you grow together. But if there is not a need for growth, then there is not a need for friendship.
What are they going to expect, Sev? Tell them peoples in a few sentences. What is to come?
What is to come?
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of discussion about brotherliness and understanding what does it entail? What is it about? How do we grow?
Yeah. Expect what he said. Expect honesty. Expect truth. Expect us to speak our minds and speak our hearts. Expect to learn more about us and our relationship.
Definitely.
And how this has evolved. And also there are stories that are very close to our hearts that we've shared with about ourselves, truths about ourselves that we've shared with either just ourselves or like a few people not in the circle.
Yeah.
That we will eventually come to share with you guys as we build trust. And we really want to invite you guys into our lives. And as we invite you into our lives, we hope that you invite us into your lives and we can just share together.
That is the
This isn't
one.
just a space for men, by the way. I know we've spoken about men a lot. But ladies, you are so welcome. Oh my God, you are so welcome. That brings
That's it.
us to the end of our first 2-hour special episode. I think it's up to 2 hours.
No, it's more.
Fam,
The first one was on.
this is definitely going to be in 2 parts. But we're done. This is it.
Finally.
This is much better than what we
Give
recorded
us
first.
a round of applause. A round of applause. We need it.
Do you have a closing statement for the people? I kind of just want to go home and eat right now. I'm so hungry.
You end it because I'm done.
You don't have a closing statement?
My goodness, I'm done.
Do I have a closing statement? I don't know. Guys, ride with us. Let us know what you think. Subscribe if you love us. Subscribe if you love us. Oh.
Summer is red.
Oh.
It's red. What time it was red, bro?
Subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you.
Is yellow.
Oh,
It's yellow.
come down. Okay, he's talking about the sound bars. Let us know what you think.
I've been looking at that sound that thing the whole time.
I
yeah?
feel like
Come
my
on.
sound is gonna clip for sure.
My goodness.
Let us know what you think. Also, give us a rating on Spotify. And guys, be kind. Honestly, like we're still learning. This is a messy space.
Share your belief, your understanding, what you think.
This is your new
But,
family.
Like, I mean,
Welcome. What should we call our family? We're gonna need to decide.
oh yeah,
The Smevs.
Mm.
The Fudge.
the what?
The Smevs.
My goodness.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Deuces, we're
see?
done. Oh, it's the midnight call. Your queen is calling you. Oh my God, that's so cute. Let me see the picture. Where did you get that from?
I saw it on one wallpaper like that.
All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Live your life. Be kind and be open, honest, and transparent.
yeah.
Deuces.